I'm not the best when it comes to using stickers, so I end up just collecting them, but I stumbled across a few videos about linocut stamp making a while ago and thought it was a pretty cool method to, in a way, make never-ending stickers because I would be able to stamp my designs whenever and wherever I wanted. I've never tried printmaking, and to be honest, I didn't know it was a thing before I saw it all over my Instagram feed, but the process itself seemed quite easy and relaxing from the videos that I watched, so I figured it would be a fun experience. I had also got into playing Stardew Valley from a friend, and in the game there are these little creatures called Junimos. I love their simple and cute character design, and it seemed perfect for a beginner stamp, so I went to the art store and picked up some carving tools, a stamp pad, as well as an ink pad, and got started with the process. I sketched the design out on paper using a pencil and transferred it to the stamp pad, but it was a bit difficult to see the pencil design and sometimes it would get accidentally smudged off, so I went over the design again in a permanent marker. This was probably the easiest part of the process because I really underestimated myself when I started to carve out the design. The videos I watched made it seem super simple and fast, and that's when I realized most of them were sped up, so I should have taken my time with the process because I had a lot of trouble getting all the finer details. I'm not sure if it was the stamp pad I was working with, but it was very tough to carve out. I had to use a lot of force and ended up needing to pull out the carved pieces with my fingers, whereas in the videos the carving tools seemed to glide through, so I might try again using a different stamp pad to see if I'll have a better result. Also, although the design was simple, it was pretty small, so I might have needed to invest in a thinner carving tool to make my life easier. Honestly, I had no clue what I was doing and hurt my fingers a few times, so that made me slow down a lot more as well, but I felt the push to keep going as soon as I saw the design appear on the stamp pad, and when it almost looked finished, I went back and forth between testing it out using the ink pad and then going back to carve out more of the places that needed a bit of refinement. Now, before I show you the final product, here are all my failed attempts. In my first few tries, I rushed the process, so I made a lot of mistakes. I was carving way too quickly, which meant I had less control, and I also chose designs that were too complicated. For example, I really wanted to make this Stardew Valley chicken because I really like their cute design in the game, but it wasn't the best choice for someone first trying linocut, so I should have started with something simpler to practice first. I also made the designs too small, which only added to the frustration of carving the stamp because I hadn't grasped the technique yet. So trying to work on such a small scale without mastering the basics made it even more challenging. I was actually debating on showing these failed attempts, but I think it's important to see that you don't always succeed on your first try, and it's okay to try again, especially with something you've never done before. I definitely will not be putting these failed attempts to waste though. I plan on either carving it out more for practice or using the other side to make new stamps if it's salvageable. I really wanted a yellow stamp, but unfortunately it was very difficult to see the design, so I went back to the art store to pick up a blue ink pad, and that worked a lot better. Even though I initially had a hard time using the tools, the whole experience turned out to be really fun and rewarding. Once I started getting the hang of the carving technique, it became really satisfying to see my design slowly come to life, and it was also exciting to experiment and learn through trial and error. And without further ado, here is how my stamp turned out. It's not the best, and honestly more work is needed to refine it more, especially the edges, but I'm still proud with how it turned out, especially the texture of the stamp. I think it's really cool. It was my first time trying out lino cutting, and I'm definitely going to keep practicing, and maybe one day I'll hopefully be able to make that Stardew Valley chicken.